Hey Supercharged Entrepreneurs. So over the last 15 years of being an entrepreneur and coaching entrepreneurs, I've read pretty much every single time management book out there. And there are 5 crucial habits that I teach my clients and I genuinely use pretty much every single day to make my time management more efficient, which I think allows me to be a very successful performance coach for entrepreneurs while also running a YouTube channel, business, staying fit, keeping my wife Keziah happy, and being a great dad, plus a soccer coach to my 3 kids. I also then find time to read, meditate 1 to 2 hours a day, stay fit, train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and sleep over 8 hours every single night. So let's run through those 5 habits in this video, and a little later I'll tell you the big secret of productivity and time management that nobody's talking about. When you use this big secret, you'll also find the time to fit everything important to you in. More on that a bit later. So habit number 1 is to plan your day in advance. Yes, even your days off. Now to do that, I use this daily action planner. This was given to me by a purported billionaire called Walter O'Brien back in 2015 at a mansion party in the Hollywood Hills. He was introduced to me by a friend of mine, Adam Farfan, and I got about 5 minutes to talk to this billionaire. One of the first questions I asked him was, what's your number 1 way to get more done in a day? Your number 1 productivity tip? And he said it's this: to have an agenda, to plan your day the night before so that you have hour by hour, minute by minute, exactly what you're doing. Now I've adapted it, I've been doing this for 9 years, and I've adapted this into a great little template that you can download for free by clicking the link in the comments. You can download this daily action planner, and I promise you this will make you 10 times more productive, because it's made me 10 times more productive over the last 9 years or so. So that's habit number 1, plan your day in advance. You can use this template or your own. What's nice about this template is you gotta focus on the one thing. So like the book, The One Thing by billionaire Gary Keller, he says that every day you gotta ask yourself, what's the one thing that's gonna make it easier or unnecessary to get closer to my goal? So if you're only gonna do 1 minute of planning, spend that 1 minute on the one thing you're gonna get done the following day. Has it here is this daily action planner for you. Pro tip, when planning your day, always put money-making activities first. Number 2, embrace the exam mindset. So I like to envision work sessions like an academic exam. So whenever you're going to a high school or college exam, you make sure that you're prepared. So if you've ever taken a high school exam or a college exam, you know that preparation is key to the mindset. You want to make sure every little detail is taken care of. You've been to your restroom, your desk is ready, you have everything that you need, you have some water, maybe do a little stretch, maybe take a nootropic, have some nicotine gum ready for you. Most importantly, the phone goes into a lockbox turned off so it cannot distract you from your work. These are deep work sessions. Like the book Deep Work, you're going to get way more done if you do have solid deep work sessions every day of the week that you're working. To further enhance focus, I like to use Brain FM. You just listen to it, put on some noise cancelling earphones, and Brain FM actually trains your brain waves to get into the flow state as soon as possible. So that's a hack for you. The 3rd habit is to batch tasks before you even start. So batching is a really simple idea that batches lots of different tasks at the same time. So rather than deciding, oh, I'm going to respond to email, and then I'm going to write some sales copy, and then I'm going to write an ad, and then I'm going to make this sales call, and then I'm going to go out and speak to potential customers, and then I'm going to do social media. No, batching is where you do all the same tasks at the same time. So perhaps you'll pick a certain time in the day. So for me, at the end of the day, I respond to all communications. That's what I'm doing at the end of the day. Responding to emails, phone calls, etc., all at the same end of the day. I'm batching those tasks, which just generally makes it more efficient. I also recommend that you batch tasks outside of work. So for example, when you're cooking a meal, make sure you cook like 3 or 4 meals in one cookout session so that you're not having to spend every day cooking 1 meal at a time. You can batch the tasks. I like to do it on a grill. Just batch the tasks, get everything done. You can even cook out meals for 3 days in advance so you don't have to cook again. It is way more time efficient. I also like to batch chores. No, wait a minute. No, I don't batch chores because I don't do any chores, and neither should you, because your time is worth worth at least $500 an hour as an entrepreneur. So any chores needs to be outsourced as soon as possible so you can focus your time on making money and relaxing and recovering. Don't be doing any chores. I'll share more about this when I talk about the big secret a little bit later on. Another way you can use batching is by batching by the day. Batching by the day means you get all the same kinds of tasks done on the same day. For example, for me, Monday is media day. So when you're looking at my amazing YouTube videos like this, or my amazing shorts and Instagram reels, I do that all on Monday media day. You're all done for the whole week, all done on Monday media day. Tuesdays I do calls for my coaching calls, any type of meetings I've got, anything where I'm communicating people, coaching or communicating is all done on Tuesdays. So for you, how could you batch your days so you get a similar type of work all done in one day? Batching is more about being able to focus on a certain type of task at the same time, rather than attention switching from one task to the next. Attention switching is very costly to the mind. It takes you a long time to be able to switch your entire focus to something else, and it uses a lot of mental energy. It's taxing on the mind. Your days are much easier, much smoother if you're batching your days and you're batching your tasks. It makes it way more efficient and saves time. And the fourth habit is avoiding work. Trying to avoid work, and if you have to do the work, make sure that you only have to do it once before you automate, delegate, or eliminate. I really have to thank Alex Mayer of Zeus and Mental for this mindset, because I had a very brief conversation with him back in 2016 at Tai Lopez's house in Beverly Hills. And Alex, who I believe is worth well over $100 million, he was working on something. And he was working on something at Tai's house. I was also working on something at Tai's house. So I asked Alex, hey, what are you working on? So he told me he was doing some Facebook ads, but this is the only time he's going to be doing it, because the rest of the time it's going to be outsourced. And then he told me something which he calls the one-touch rule. And he said he has a rule. He only touches a task one time for it's either automated, delegated, or eliminated. So before you even start a task, you want to ask yourself, can this be automated, delegated, or eliminated? If it can be automated, spend the extra time getting it automated so you only have to touch it once. If it can be delegated, spend the extra time, maybe shoot a video on how to do this task delegated. And if it can be eliminated, obviously eliminated. But just thinking before you jump into a task, it's really easy just to get straight into a task. 5 hours later it's done, but then you got to do the same thing next week or next month. Just taking 5 seconds or 5 minutes before to think, hey, can I automate this, delegate this, or eliminate it? Maybe I can delegate it to someone who can do it below my pay grade, of course, so less than what your pay grade is, and your pay grade's got to be over $500 an hour if you're an entrepreneur. Or can I get it someone who's better than me at that? It's worth getting someone better. Take that time out to think about this before you jump into work. Try to avoid work. The other thing is, in that 5-minute period where you're thinking about automating, delegating, or eliminating, you also want to ask yourself, are there any tools, any tech tools that can make this a lot faster? With the advent of AI and all these AI tools available to you right now, there usually is something you can do a lot faster. So it is worth just doing a bit of research before you get into the task to see how you can make it way faster. Fifth and final habit is multitask. Now, of course, all over YouTube and anyone you speak to is going to tell you to not multitask. And generally, I agree. When it comes to work and you're focusing, you don't want to multitask because it does dilute focus, does dilute your energy. However, there are 2 specific times when I like to multitask and it works for me, and I think it will work for you too. The first one is when you're using your brain and you can use your body. So for example, when working, you can work on a treadmill desk or on a cycle desk. So you're using your body, you're burning some calories, you're keeping your blood flow going, you're keeping you healthy while you're getting some work done. If you're taking calls, you can walk in your treadmill desk, or if it's a nice day outside, you can walk outside and get your steps in as well, which is going to keep you healthy and sharp. If you're training, you're in the gym, you can listen to audiobooks, you can listen to a podcast. You can use your brain while you're using your body at the same time, and this really can save you a lot of time. Especially if you got kids like me and you struggle to find time to read. I actually multitask and I usually read while I'm eating. So if I'm having my lunch or my dinner, I'm reading because that's really the only time I can find to do that. Otherwise, when I'm cycling or whether I'm in the car or whether I'm training, I'm listening to an audiobook, and that's how you can get reading in. So yeah, when you're using your brain or your body, think, how can I get the other one involved? So the second time is when I multitask with my kids. Now, I'm paying attention to my kids, but I like to make sure that we do exercise together. So sometimes you can get your workout by doing it with the kids. We like to trampoline together. We like to play tag together. We'll do sprint training with the kids. I'll go swimming with the kids. We'll get on goes and turns on the treadmill with the kids. We'll go for a run with the kids. My kids are 5, 3, and 1. Now, granted, I gotta push the 1-year-old in a stroller, but the 5-year-old and 3-year-old, if I run slow, they can definitely keep up with me for a good 3 miles. So yeah, those are my 5 simple habits that will save you about 20 hours each and every week. Now, what's the big secret that I've been holding back for you? It is a big secret. The way that I can fit all of these things in, and the way that my clients can fit all of these things in, and the way that you're going to be able to fit all of these things in, is by eliminating stuff that isn't that important to you. So for example, for me, I don't watch TV. I don't scroll social media. I don't play computer games. My screen time outside of work, less than 20 minutes a day. I mentioned earlier, I don't do chores. I have a cleaner who comes around, cleans up shirts like this. I have cleaners that come and pick up my shirts and deliver them nice and folded. The secret is that having time to do the things that are important for you is really about removing the things from your life that aren't that important to you. So there you have it. My name is Mark Dhamma, high performance coach for entrepreneurs. Help you make more money by increasing your energy, focus, and productivity without the burnout. Best thing you can do right now is download your daily action planner so you too can start planning your day at 10 times more productive.